Wow, that was so much. I think I'm actually exhausted just hearing all that. And but I want to say thank you so much, Christy, for your passion and just your pure dedication to caregivers and caregiving. It's such important work. And so before I even go on further, what I would like to do is for us all to give each other a round of applause for everything that we do. So let's take it around, people. Let's move the trunk of our body. Let's take it around and really celebrate ourselves and reverse it, of course. Reverse it and stretching up. Yeah, and reverse it. Yes. We need that, right? We need that celebration of who we are and what it is that we do. Because often caregivers move in the silence of the day and the night. They move in a stealth way where no one knows what they're doing. How many of you are caring for people, places, and things, and no one has any idea? They're still calling you. They're still saying, "Hey, why didn't you show up here? Hey, I needed you to be here. You were late." You're like, people don't see the work, intensity, the stress, the pain, the tears of the caregivers. So I really am excited to see your faces and that many of you are with your camera on. So I want to take this moment for you all to just hold your hands out to each other, to just connect to each other. And whether we can hear each other or not, to look into someone's eyes and say, "I see you. I see you. I see you." Feel the energy. Stretch your hands out a little bit more, stretching to connect to those that are in the trenches of love doing this work. Connected. So, this is the community. We are stretching to connect. Let's say it 3 times together. I see you. I see you. I see you. Yes. And we all matter. And we all matter, right? All of us. All of us. All of you beautiful, beautiful souls in those squares, which I see as a circle, that you all are a beautiful circle. Today, I'm here to talk a little bit about expressive arts therapy. What the heck is expressive arts therapy anyway? Well, expressive arts therapy is a multimodal modality of bringing in the arts for emotional healing and expression, for bringing in the arts for emotional healing and expression. And you might say, "I'm no Picasso. I'm no artist. I make stick figures." But we're all creative with our stick figures, with our cooking, with our journaling, with our dancing, with our movement, with our ability to make sounds. Like, we all have that. So I want you to think about times in your life when you've just been in the zone with an activity that you were doing, that you were able to disconnect from your multiple roles by engaging with this activity. And drop that in the chat if that feels comfortable. Playing tennis. Yes. Hmm. Woodworking. Oh, making macarons. I'm coming over. All right. Painting. Bingo. Yes. Cooking. All of these things. Yoga. When we bring our mind to the moment and drop into the activity, jogging, baking, aqua aerobics. Yeah, keep dropping them in. Everybody drop in something that is their go-to. Because as you share that way that you express your emotions and tap into some joy, right? You are serving your fellow caregivers because they're looking like, oh, duplicate bridge. I might try that. Singing. I might try that. Photography, genealogy. So many ways to use the expressive arts and to layer it and to layer it. Playing piano, bass guitar, euchre, hanging out with high school friends, community, community. So we can look at these activities in our lives, not just as an activity or your self-care technique, but we can stretch it even further and say, this is the way that I'm taking care of my emotional content. This is an expressive way for me to give myself medicine. Oh, virtual gaming, painting by dot. You all are teaching me so much. So much. Because what you can do with expressive arts is endless. And we're all doing it, and we don't often realize that we are doing it. When we're playing with the puzzles or creating a new song or baking, we don't always get that what we're doing is tending to that creative part of ourselves. And that creative part of ourselves is where that kernel of healing happens and explodes and grows, almost like you're popping popcorn. We're doing that activity and something happens. Something happens that shifts us from the ordinary to the extraordinary, to that place of chaos, to a place of peace. So right now, I want you to just find your three pieces of paper. I wrote in my little note that if people could have three pieces of paper, and we were going to do a little expressive arts activity. But I beg you, I don't want any Picassos in this group. Please come with your blobs, your blurbs, your scribbles, your stick figures, all of that. So we're hanging a sign of no judgment, play, no judgment, explore, no judgment, hold yourself open to see what arises. Okay? So I'm going to give everybody time to get their three pieces of paper and something to write with, okay? And as you all get that, I'm going to just do a little play over here and tell me if you can hear this. Okay. All right. So, as you have your three pieces of paper in front of you, I want you to use this drum beat as a way of softening the edges of any self-criticism. Okay? So we want to release any self-criticism before we go into our activity. So let's use this beat just to shake it out a little bit. So let yourself shake your hands a little bit. Let yourself shake your whole arm a little bit. Let yourself even move your head in any way that feels comfortable. Let yourself move the trunk of your body, your waist. Shake a leg. Shake another leg. Let yourself smile. Shake your head. Let yourself move. arms up and bring them down. Raise your arms up and bring them down. Touch them to the side, up and down. Let's see a wave. Waving those arms side to side. Yes. Let yourself be a river. Moving and releasing. Moving and releasing. Moving, flowing, lightening. Showing up. Showing up. So asking yourself, what might you need to breathe out to show up even more fully in this moment, in this now, in this now. So taking a nice breath in, exhaling, finding another breath like that, breathing in fully, completely, nourishing your muscles, your tendons, your brain, your everything, and letting go. Letting go. Oftentimes, as caregivers, we do not give ourselves an opportunity to let go, to soften the shoulders, to soften that place within our heart. So this is the invitation to take moments in your day to shake it off. That when you walk in the house, before you walk in the house, shake it off. So ask your body, what movement do you need to engage in right now in this second? Like, what is that final movement before we go into our drawing, our scribbling? So what is that? I need to shake my hands a little bit. I need to shake them up, shake them up, shake them up, shake them up. Yeah, moving my fingers. Yeah. And then settling, moving and settling. Yeah. I settle into the body. I settle in. I notice the sensations in my body at this moment. So if anybody would like to put into the chat how they're feeling in their physical body and in their emotional body right now after that bit of movement and listening to the drumming. What were you aware of? What were you aware of? Yes, energy, energy. Connecting to authentic self, calm, muscles loosened, right? Rhythmic presence, less tense feeling after freeing and moving and stretching freely. And it didn't take us long, did it? Oh, didn't take us long. Took us minutes, realizing parts of my body that were tense and didn't even know it. So we have this holding. That's our protection, right? That holding is our protection, and we sometimes forget that we don't have to walk in a state of protection all the time, that we don't have to overcompensate and be on high alert. Somebody said sleepy. Yeah, I know that feeling. Looser, settled, right? So I invite you all to practice putting on a song of choice or music at some point during your day or week and just move. Yeah. And there is really no difference. I like the drums, so I often drum and dance, but you can put on any music that you like, even music that you don't like. Yeah. And someone said, I do that often. Yes. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. So as we're feeling a bit looser, a bit more present in this place, a bit more grounded, right? A bit more grounded where we are, feeling our feet on the earth, feeling our breath moving in our body. I want you to label those 3 pages. 1, 2, 3. Oh, someone said they sing in the stairwell. I love that. I love the thought of that. I'm going to try that. Thanks for that. Your comments and is so telling. It's so telling of what we are doing that's good, of what we get to incorporate into our day just to make our journey as caregivers softer, softer. Because I believe that the softness is what we have lost because there's a lot of heavy lifting happening in what each and every one of you do. There's heavy lifting. And so the softness can go off to the side. And I'm speaking for myself as well, as a daughter with a dad with Alzheimer's and a sister with early onset on Alzheimer's and an aunt with Alzheimer's as well, and a mother with rheumatoid arthritis and a child with type 1 diabetes. So I am not speaking from a textbook. I'm speaking from the fabric of my own life. So when Christy was introducing me, I was sitting here holding my own tears, holding my own tears, because I don't often get an opportunity to sit with a group of caregivers where we can take time to collectively see each other and nurture and nourish each other and soften together and breathe together. So take those 3 pages and label them 1, 2, and 3. And on page number 1, you're going to write at the top, draw a picture of yourself as you are now. Draw a picture of yourself as you are now. Now remember this. This is not a self-portrait that we're doing, because maybe you see yourself as a tree or a blob or a cloud or an ice cream cone right now. And you can add in words and symbols and figures, but draw yourself as you are now and feel into your role as caregiver as well as a whole person. So draw yourself as you are now. I'm just going to make a little noise over here while you're drawing. So drawing yourself as you are now. Staying with your breath, breathing, taking your time. Remembering to breathe, letting that breath flow. And the title of number 1 is Draw Yourself as You Are Now. Nurturing yourself with breath and softness in the shoulders. And when you're complete drawing number 1, just put a thumbs up to let me know. All right. Thank you. So you said drawing is not your thing. It's not mine either. I usually draw myself as a tree or, I don't know, curtains or something. So remember, we already hung this moniker of non-judgment. We're not here to be artists. We're just here to express something, to let something that's inside come out. So it's the outward expression of our emotionality. Okay. All right. So some of you are still working on that first one, and know that you can come back because we can always add. We can always add. So we're going to pause that first drawing. And if there's something that you want to add into it right now in the next 30 seconds, go on and do that. Yeah, and that'll be your breadcrumb to come back. And your gluten-free bread, if you're gluten-free, your gluten-free breadcrumb to come back to. All right? Yeah. And so now let's shake our hands out. Let's shake our hands a bit, shake the hands up. So we're going to move into a different drawing, and we're demarking that this is a different well that we're dipping into. Okay. Circling the wrist. Waving hello, 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 all you lovely people. All right. And then bringing your hands to your heart. Bringing your hands to your heart. The second drawing Draw yourself as you would like to be. And that's on any level: physical level, emotional level, professional level, personal level. Drawing number 2 is draw yourself as you would like to be. Draw yourself as you would like to be. I'm going to add in a little bit of sound. A little bit of sound as you do that. Drawing yourself as you would like to be. Visualizing what you need, what you want, what you desire, what you wish, what you fantasize about. Draw yourself as you would like to be. And again, as you feel complete with drawing number 2, just give me a sign. Maybe you want to hold up your pet turtle or something. I used to have a pet turtle. Or maybe you want to hold up your rattle. I'm sure you all have a rattle at home. Or a lovely thumbs up. It's always great. Oh, I love your stuffed animal. Oh, I see the doggy. Yes. Yeah. Because we can share like parts of each other's world, right? Like we can hold up our little yummy stuff and say, okay, I'm complete now. And that's another way to stretch to connect. Another way to stretch to connect with this beautiful community. Okay, so I'm getting some complete, some thumbs up. All right. Okay. All right. Good, 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 good. So now in this in-between space between drawing 2 and drawing 3, I'm going to ask you to engage in more physical movement. Okay. And I like to always look at physical movement as clearing the channels, clearing the energetic channels that really get, for lack of a clinical term, gunked up with a lot of stress and anxiety and things that we just carry. So if you're still working on 2, keep working on 2. If you're not, just kind of join me with some tapping. Let's start at the crown. Let's start at the crown, move to the forehead. So not necessarily an EFT protocol, but tapping all over and tapping without having to think about, oh, I got to tap, okay, at the eyebrow center, but just tapping everything. Tapping the shoulders, tapping in the heart center, bilateral tapping, all kind of tapping, tap down the arms, tapping and patting, because the acupressure points are everywhere. Everywhere you tap is therapeutic. It's medicine. So tapping, and if you're tapping on the outside of your arm, flip it over like a pancake and tap on the inside. Tap up and down the trunk of the body. So I like to stand and tap down. So that gives me a little more movement. And then back down, we feel the strength in our legs and our quads. So we're tapping. And then tapping down the side of the body, down the legs, front of the legs. And often when I'm tapping, I bring to mind my gratitude and my joy. Like, yeah, I get to do this. It's like I have some arms, and the arms are working pretty good. I have some feet and legs and head and ears, and I get to honor it. It's like, yes, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. So moments of joy and gratitude as we're tapping and clapping and stimulating the body, because we live in it. We live in it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. We are in it. We are in it. Yes. And then pausing, resting the hands down and noticing the sensations in the body, noticing the subtle energy, just noticing the stillness or the subtle vibrations, noticing if it feels good or if it feels odd, but just noticing. And then noticing what else you need. And if anybody wants to put in the chat what that feels like, or give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, never again, because it's all an invitation. It's all an invitation. And we don't have to take every invitation. And sometimes, as caregivers, sometimes we take every invitation. I don't know if some of you do that or not, but we don't have to take every invitation. Although I'm going to give you a third invitation for drawing number 3. So there's that. Okay. All right. And thank you all for being so willing to shake and tap and clap and stand and sit and move and draw and be. Thank you all for that. All right. So, drawing number 3 is draw how you are going to get there. And when I say there, there is that place where you want to be that you drew about in drawing number 2, like how you would like to be. So your drawing number 3 is your bridge. How am I going to get there? How am I going to get there? So this is your personal how to. How am I going to get there? What are some of the steps or the passageways to get there? How are you going to get to where you want to be? What might that look like? Consider stretching to connect with yourself. Stretching to connect with yourself. How are you going to transport yourself there? So, in the first drawing, you drew yourself as you are now. In the second drawing, you drew yourself as you want to be. And this third drawing is what? How you going to get there? What are the vehicles? What are the vehicles? Let's put a little magic on it. Staying with your breath, breathing in and out. Letting yourself soften as you explore. And if the sound makes you want to move, honor that. Like honor yourself with the flow of what is passing through you. Our bodies will always tell us what the medicine that is required in the moment. Allowing your care for yourself to show up as you draw how you're going to get there. Let your own caring for yourself show up. Sometimes we get to try easy when we're so used to trying hard. And as always, when you feel complete, just give me a thumbs up or give me picture your favorite book or show me your glass of tea. Yes, we have to hydrate, right? Yes. Yeah, thank you. All right. Okay. So you've gone through this process. You've drawn how you are, where you want to be, and how you're going to get there. So you've created a whole map, a whole constellation of you, culminating in an action step, in some action steps, in some bridges for you to be closer to where you want to be. So I am not sure if we can come off mute or if we can just use the chat function for people to put in what are some of their action steps. What is something that's going to take you from where you want to be to the reality of it, from the wanting to the reality? What are those action steps? Okay. Either way works. Feel free to unmute or share in chat. Yep. Yep. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. Who would like to share? Who would like to share? Any hands up, hands up. And of course, it's all an invitation because it's personal. Okay, all right. Would you like to say something about your drawing? can I unmute you? Let me see. I cannot unmute you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I look like now. Number one.
Yes.
Number two was draw yourself as you would like to be. I would like to be laid back, like a smooth running flowing river, relaxed. No
Wonderful.
worries. Just relaxed and no worries. Draw how you're going to get there. Just constantly keep moving. That's how I feel.
So how are you going to get to that relaxed state that you want to be at?
How am I going to get to? I can't hear you.
How are you going to arrive at that relaxing state that you want to be at where you're like the river?
To keep moving.
Okay. Yeah, to keep moving, stay alive, stay vital, stay energized.
Stay energized, keep moving.
Okay.
I feel if I stop moving, I don't know.
Mhm.
If I don't keep moving, then it wouldn't be good. So I have to keep moving.
Right. Right. And you know what I'll say to that is that we're always moving. Even in the state of seeming stillness, we're always moving, right? And it is the movement that is healing, the movement that ultimately keeps us alive.
But
Because of,
also, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, you go ahead.
But also, where I'd like to be sometimes is laid back and relaxed. Just some time for myself. Just no worries. And so it doesn't happen often, but every chance I get, it helps.
Yes. So
So,
write that. Let that be your walk away affirmation. So write that on a post-it and you post that on your mirror because we come up with the strategy, yet we need to hold on to the strategy, right? We have to keep it present in front of us because I will forget in a blink. Oh, I said we have to keep it in front of us. So whatever that thing is that you said you want to do that would get you to being where you want to be, let's keep it present. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for stepping in the warm water. Is there anybody else that wants to share what that process was like for them? There's some beautiful sharings in the chat. Yeah. Strive for my best, but not for perfection. Absolutely. Go back to yoga practice. Mhm. Yeah. Rest, gentle movement. And like I said before, as people are sharing things in the chat, make notes for things that spark you, like, oh my gosh, yes, I need to do that. Because we're learning and growing with each other, right? Gentle movement, music, nature, friends, training, therapy, retreat, spa. Yeah.
So, Dr. Kirksey, what if someone had a lot of trouble with knowing, maybe they know where they are, know where they want to go, but when you said drawing number 3, they're like, what? I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get there. Any words on that subject?
And therein lies the challenge with many caregivers because lots of thought is given to how you're going to take care of the person that you're giving care to. And then when it comes to ourselves, then the bottom falls out. So that same level of thought and compassion and kindness is not given to self. So this exercise is really about honoring yourself as a person that needs to be given care, given attention. So if you had a really challenging time coming up with how am I going to get to my desired state? Think about how you would work with that person that you're caring for. Because I can believe that you all bend over backwards to meet the needs and shift the circumstances of those people that you're caring for. So the test here is how can I begin to care for myself at a deeper level so that I can embody the life that I desire in a conscious way, in a conscious, intentional manner. So one person said, I want to be strong and calm to get there. Give myself permission and time to rest. Do an activity just because. Say positive things to myself and believe those things. Yeah. The process is hard. And I would change that word hard to the process is challenging. The process is challenging. And we are worthy of undertaking that challenge. Jan said,
I've
yes, please.
I found it helpful to break it down from my first picture to my second picture was a huge difference. So when I got to 3, I was like, oh, this is, how do I even go about this? But then I liked what Jenny said about try easy when we're used to trying hard, and like, okay, easy, one baby steps. Baby steps are easy. So what's one little thing I can do to get to that next picture? It doesn't have to put me there, but it can just get me in the right direction. And I felt like, okay, then you're one step closer, and then you just keep taking baby steps. Yeah.
That's exactly it. How can we contribute in small and big ways to our own desired state? How do we contribute to that? And self compassion, that's it. Yeah, self compassion, self kindness, self love, self worth, like bringing yourself into the picture of your life as opposed to being the giving tree and ending up with nothing. So I have a poem that I would like to read to you all in these last couple of minutes. And I encourage you all to continue to work on that drawing number 3, living into those action steps and giving so much compassion and love to the person in drawing number 1. Post that picture. What kind of loving is needed for her in this moment? Okay. So this poem is called So Where To? So where to now, friend? You have fed the hungry, clothed the naked, and gave shelter to the homeless. Love, hugs, tears, hope, prayers. You have given it all. So where to now, friend? From whose cup will you drink? What shoulder will bear you up? Who will wipe your tears? Do not hesitate, my friend. Look around you. Look around you. Reach for the extended hand of community. Let yourself also be nourished, held, heard, fed. Let yourself be replenished and considered. the beauty of who you are. Let yourself be consoled. Let yourself be the receiver of the abundant love and care you have so freely given again, again, and again. Give yourself a big embrace for all that you do and all that you are. Thank you for allowing me to spend this time with you. I'm honored to be in your presence, and may we all care for ourselves in an abundant, beautiful way.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kirksey. I think you just spoke to me on such a core level today. And what I like about that third drawing, I am no artist, but that it's a journey. And it's often a journey that I find repeating over and over and over again. And so how we get to where we want to be is about so many different things that I know I will often take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, but it's okay because I'm going to keep moving and keep working it. And by having it as a visual and as a plan that we can put front and center will remind us from today of what a beautiful session. So thank you for helping us to move, to get unstuck, and to really think about this from our hearts. And you gave us lots of great tools to consider. So thank you.
I'll say this very last thing. Thank you, because right at this moment, a woman that was a caregiver for me and my family when we needed it, her funeral is happening right at this moment. And so I dedicate this presentation and this time to Miss Beatrice McIntosh. And thank you. The timing was impeccable.
Thank you for giving a tribute to her. That is so, so special.